Hillmans Transport Life Rules and Chain of Responsibility presentation. Hillmans Transport believe that all injuries are preventable and that no task is so important that it can't be done safely.
What is a chain of responsibility? Drivers and operators have traditionally been the focus of the road laws. However, breaches are often caused by the actions of others. Under the chain of responsibility, complying with transport law is a shared responsibility, and all parties in the road transport supply chain are responsible for preventing breaches. This approach recognises the effects of the actions, inactions and demands of off-the-road parties in the transport chain. Anybody, not just a driver, who has control over the transport task can be held responsible for breaches of the road laws and may be legally liable. The chain of responsibility is similar to the legal concept of duty of care that underpins occupational health and safety law. This approach has long been used by the courts to impose legal liability in negligence and damages claims. So, who are parties in the supply chain? The parties in the chain of responsibility for a heavy vehicle include an employer, an operator, a scheduler, a loading manager for any goods in the vehicle, a loader or unloader of the vehicle, a consigner of goods to be transported by the vehicle, and a consignee of any goods being transported in the vehicle. With these roles in mind, the law recognises that one person can have more than one role under the chain of responsibility. For example, an owner-driver can be classified as the employer, the operator and the scheduler of the vehicle. We'll now look a bit closer at these roles and responsibilities of each party. The next role we'll look at is that of the scheduler. Are you carrying out or am I carrying out a scheduler's tasks? You are classified as a scheduler if you plan the transport of any goods or passengers or schedule the work and rest times of a driver. A scheduler may also include such people also known as a planner, roster clerk, programmer, etc. Your key responsibilities as a scheduler may include ensuring that journeys and routes are suitably planned with consideration of potential traffic issues and other unexpected delays. Drivers' activities including work and rest times are accurately recorded. Regular scheduling reviews are carried out. There is appropriate consultation with operators, managers, contractors and drivers concerning rosters, schedules and routes. All necessary scheduling journey and route information is available. Your delivery requirements do not require or encourage drivers to exceed speed limits, exceed regulated driving hours, fail to meet the minimum rest requirements, drive while impaired by fatigue. What are the possible penalties for a breach? As a scheduler, you could be held legally liable for breaches of the Heavy Vehicle National Law, even though you have no direct role in driving or operating a heavy vehicle. If your actions, inactions or demands cause or contribute to an offence, you can be held legally accountable. Penalties and sanctions can range from formal warnings to court-imposed fines and penalties. The next role we'll look at is that of the consigner. Am I carrying out a consigner's transport tasks? Under the Heavy Vehicle National Law, you're generally classified as a consigner of goods when you engage a heavy vehicle operator to transport your goods to a consignee by road for commercial purposes. You'll usually be named and identified as a consigner in the formal documentation for the transport of the goods by road. Your key responsibilities as a consigner are ensuring that loads do not exceed vehicle mass limits, goods carried on your behalf are appropriately secured, operators carrying freight containers have a verified container weight declaration, your delivery requirements do not require or encourage drivers to exceed the speed limits, exceed regulated driving hours, fail to meet the minimum rest requirements, drive while impaired by fatigue. What are the possible penalties for a breach by a consigner? As a consigner, you could be held legally liable for breaches of the Heavy Vehicle National Law, even though you have no direct role in driving or operating a heavy vehicle. If your actions, inactions or demands cause or contribute to an offence, you can be held legally accountable. Penalties and sanctions can range from formal warnings to court-imposed fines and penalties.